Welcome to Idea Tennis, where we challenge ideas, elevate thinking, and serve up conversation that make you question everything.
Why is it that we feel guilty of adding value to someone and charging them for it? The value flows both ways. You're not helping people stay broke. You're helping them get to the next thing, the next level. You're helping them, whether it's maybe start, grow, or scale something. Mindset is going to shape every aspect of who you are and your business. Because what you tell yourself is what you believe and what you become. Have more faith than fear. People who are paralyzed by fear will get nowhere fast. You only learn if you go and do. When people reject your offer, they are not rejecting you. You need to practice, and practice some more. Have the mindset of knowing that you are worth being paid for your service.
Jessica, what's going on, lady? It's been a long time. I haven't seen you in 2 weeks.
That's right. It's only been 1 week, my friend. It may feel like 2, but it's only 1. And
It does feel like two.
I know.
But today, since we haven't chatted so long, I want to talk about this article that I posted on LinkedIn. And it's around being a bad cashier. I know the term might sounds abstract, but it's not. But it's being a bad cashier, and I think you might be able to help myself and the folks that I've noticed this happening with really unlock that mindset because we're looking for the unlocking here. So when you think about a bad cashier, what I was thinking is a person that allows somebody to come to their store or come to the place of business, get the service, but walk away and don't pay because they don't charge, they don't make the offer. And I see that a lot. And a lot of people can be able to resonate with this. If you're just starting out your business or you're going through the process of running your business, but you're not charging because you feel some kind of way about making the offer. So being a bad cashier, what are your thoughts on that?
First off, I loved that you titled your article, "You Don't Have a Marketing Problem, You Have a Cashier Problem." And it's so true as entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people like you said that don't have employees. Some of the hardest parts of scaling your business becomes the
Mm.
ask for the cash. I host a weekly meeting, and the title of the meeting is How We Make the Money. The missing part to that for most people is that they don't ask for the money.
It is just you saying that they don't ask for the money. People can be like, "Yeah, I'm guilty." Yeah, and I'm gonna say, even myself guilty when I first started off too, because first I was trying to establish a new identity in the space of being an entrepreneur, and then the service I'm offering is tied to me just doing what I always do. Like when you in the corporate world, I mean, I'm in the military. You just do this stuff because somebody asked to do it, right? Or somebody need help, you just help them out. But you never like, oh, pay me. No, because you was on salary. Or you was on paid by the hour. But now you in your business, right? You in your business, and now you gotta, hey, cashier, come on. I'm the cashier, I'm everything. Like, how do you get people to unlock that mindset to realize that, hey, they gotta pay before they leave? Because sometimes because you get stuff for free, you oftentimes don't charge people because you get stuff for free.
We're going to talk about the energy of money. Money is an exchange of value, it's not greed, correct? People value what they pay for. I've used many times Myron Golden's quote of people that pay attention, people that pay more attention.
Mm-hmm.
When you're talking about giving away something for free, let's say as a lead capture, because we're talking to entrepreneurs and we are in the people business. We need people to stay in business. We're a transactional society, and all transactions require a mutual two-way, a service that's of value to someone else, and the someone else who's willing to not only seek out your service, but use your service. And 9 times out of 10, if not 10 times out of 10, when someone uses a service, they have to pay for it. Freebies don't offer long-term committed clients. Offering somebody something free all the time, all the time, all the time becomes the expectation and sets up the new norm. Do you offer a freebie to give somebody a taste of who you are as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, of your product? Yes. But is that the norm of how you provide your service?
So then, because a lot of times the people that we are running into is the people that they're not offering a product, they're offering a service. So they're offering your time. And oftentimes, before somebody says, I'm signing up for your thing, or I'm gonna go make you my person, that you gotta put in. But then sometimes you put in so much, then it gets beyond the point of charging. Because you've been putting in, the person keeps showing up. They're like, damn, should I cut this person off or not? But how do you establish the price at first? Hey, this is where you start. Oh, you want this thing right here? This so you can get started right here. And get started comes with the price, the offer. But it's very difficult for a lot of people.
Warren Buffett says, price is what you pay, value is what you get. So from the entrepreneur perspective, what's the value that you are giving to the person who is paying for your service? A lot of us, when we're first starting out, do work for free. But I'm going to say that's not 100% accurate. We provide something for free, but it's in exchange for a testimonial. It's in exchange for using the footage from the recording to promote our business. So there is some form of exchange, although it's not monetary. And that's when we're starting out, to give us credibility. Once we have the credibility, we come up with a price. How do you come up with the price? Is there a secret formula for the price? I'm going to tell you this. Most people, the price that you set for your service is undervalued. You are undervaluing yourself. If you think your service is worth, let's say, $500, I'm going to tell you times 3. That's your price. Why? Because the people who want to be in the room with you, the people who want to share the same oxygen and hear what you have to say that's going to transform them in some way, yes, they would have been willing to pay $500, but those same people are willing to pay $1,500 for it.
That is so true.
Yeah.
No, that because there's a difference when you want something, when you need something.
Yes.
Because oftentimes what we're serving, the first people we normally serve are the people that need stuff. And the folks that need stuff, they're willing to bargain it down. But the people that want it, they just want it. No explanation needed. I just want that. Whatever the price is, I'm going to pay it because I want it. And those are the people you want to find to serve. But it's very difficult when you're first starting off. You run into people that just need it. You think they need it, or you might notice they need it because they need it, but they don't really want it because they weren't willing to put in the work or pay the price to have it. It's just a need.
So many entrepreneurs get caught up in the guilt of charging. Why is it that we feel guilty of adding value to someone and charging them for it? The value flows both ways. You're not helping people stay broke. You're helping them get to the next thing, the next level. You're helping them, whether it's maybe start, grow, or scale something. That's what the objective is to all the things we buy into. As entrepreneurs, we pay for other services. How you've spent tens of thousands of dollars, if not more, on professional development, as have I. I know that when I participate in those trainings, courses, challenges, whatever it was that I'm paying for, if I take what I learned and apply it to my business, it's going to help me get to the next thing. I'm not the only one, and you're not the only one who's on the pursuit of more, who wants to get to that next thing. But when you realize that you don't have all the answers.
And you don't have all the questions either.
No.
Yeah. No, when I was working on the article too, I was thinking back in my days, because when I was when in the military, I did finance, actually. I did finance. So back in the days before we had all this, back in the 2000s and those early wars and stuff, you used to go to different places, and I had to be a cashier. That's one of my first few jobs when I joined the military, was being a cashier. But I was being a cashier in a combat zone in a place where I had to pay soldiers money. They need cash to operate on the economy. But I used to love that job, by the way. I used to love issuing out money and collecting, so forth and so on. I mean, as a matter of fact, I'm a cashier. I used to issue out money. It's interesting. I used to issue out money versus me collecting money. So I collect a check from you and I give you cash exchange. That's what I used to do. But then I was thinking about it when I was writing the article. I'm like, man, I used to enjoy collecting and giving money. But now I'm in my business. And when I first started off, I see why it's a challenge because when I didn't have any kind of people to pay, like any kind of staff, then it's easy to negotiate on your price.
Yes.
It's easy not to be strict on your price. But when you have people to pay, that people count on you to pay them, then you're like, nah, B, that's my price. Why? Because I got overhead, I got these other people got to pay for it. But when you're a solopreneur, you like just slack away because you want that person. You want to help them out because most of us do this because we really want to help people. But you got to realize that the price is the price, my friend. You got to pay the price because if you don't pay the price, that person probably not going to value the thing. And how many things that we have for free these days that we don't value? Because once you
Yes.
have it, you no longer value it once you get it. And once I say, yes, I'm going to help you, then you're like, oh, I should not value it anymore. But if you pay, yeah, it's a different story.
I'm going to take it to something so superficial right now because it's something I've done. If you know me, and I enjoy nice things. And I enjoy a nice designer handbag that probably costs way more money than anyone should be paying for a handbag. But I wanted it. And so I was willing to pay for it.
Keyword want, not need.
Yes. Yes. I wanted that handbag. Why? Because for me, the handbag represented a lot of different things. They offer
Status.
different value than the actual bag itself. The name of the designer, the perception people have of you when they see you with that bag, the idea of feeling exclusivity because not many people have this bag. Those were all feelings and things that I wanted to have. Did they actually bring me any value? Not really. Was it mostly about how it was making me feel? Absolutely. When we're talking about asking for someone to buy something from us as entrepreneurs, we almost need to envision that what we are offering them holds the same value, the same exclusivity, and the same feelings of worthiness and of I have arrived as that handbag. So that when somebody says, have you been to one of Jessica's Hustle with Heart workshops? Have you been to one of Asher's book writing workshops? And they're like, no, tell me about it. You want almost like that feeling of like the dangling of the carrot. Like it's close. I've heard about all of these things that they do, but I've never actually paid to be a part of any of them.
I like what you said, the value piece, because I think when we buy things, the perceived value is the thing that make us feel, oh yeah, when I get this handbag, I'm perceived a lot more valuable. If I buy this Mercedes Benz car, I'm driving around, my perception value is different, my perceived value is different. And I think the question now becomes, as a person that's in business, how do you create that perceived value about you when people see like, oh yeah, I know that guy is valuable, I want to work with that guy, or that girl is valuable, I want to work with that girl. Because that's a challenge with us in that mindset of charging, because internally we don't perceive ourselves as valuable as the thing at the price we want to charge. Or hey, you talk about the want versus need thing. Yeah. When you need something is, hey, I need this because. But when you want it, there's no because behind that. I just want what I want because I want it. But when you say I need this thing, I need it because of this, so forth and so on, that you're gonna explain, you're gonna justify the need. But with the one piece, like I said, I want this handbag. It doesn't matter. I just want my handbag. I want the Louis V. I want the whatever. You just want it. It's not gonna do anything. You just want it. So you ain't gonna explain to nobody why you want it. You just want it because you want it. And then how do you become a service person that when somebody see I want that service with just because I want it, and whatever just charge, I'm gonna pay. Then how do you say to somebody that, hey, what I'm giving you is in the want department. You want this thing because this thing gonna help you out.
When you get to a place in business, whether it's an actual service or a product, where you have results, that's when people will pay you. So if you offer somebody, and we've spoken about digestive enzymes before, but if you offer somebody digestive enzymes and it gives them their desired result, likelihood is they're going to be willing and wanting and encouraging others to also pay you for digestive enzymes. That's a product example. If you help somebody start, grow, or scale their business, help them take an idea and turn it into a book, you have results now. You have something that other people want. You have something other people need because they have not been able to do it on their own. That is when you start to charge. That is when it becomes no longer an option of, I want to start, grow, scale my business. I see what Jessica's done for other people. I've seen what Asher's done for other people. How could I have those same results? Knowing your value, adding tax to it, and feeling unapologetic because you know that what you have to offer somebody is going to give them their desired result, whether it's a product or a service. Unapologetically ask for the close. How many would you like to take home today? 1 box or 2 boxes? When would you like to sign up for the next Hustle with Heart program? This session or the next session? There's an upcoming retreat. It's sold out, but I have another one coming up in Miami in February. Should I lock in your space today with a deposit? Why do people get paralyzed when it comes time to close the sale?
That is the question of the day. And I think we should really wrap on this one for a bit, because to make the offer, not be the bad cashier, to make sure they check out before they walk out your store. That is a thing that we got to unlock for people that are thinking about this, because it's not easy when you're starting off to charge, because you are like, you need a customer, you need people. But you got to get to a space where you want customers, not need them.
Yeah.
Right. And then when you show up like, hey, I know you want my service and I want your service, but I don't need your service. I don't need you as a customer. I want you as a customer because I have something I like doing, and I like doing with other people that wants it, but not with people that need it. I'm going to bargain on the price to the $0 that most people want. Because here's the problem. The biggest problem is business is customers that want it for free. Like that's our biggest battle every day. We're battling with people that want the thing for free. And if you look at any one of these businesses out there, the race to the bottom thing idea that comes around. They're always racing because you're battling people that always want your stuff for free. But you got to find a way to stand your ground and take your value in the ground and say, this is my price. And I want your service. I want you as a client, but I don't need you as a client. And that's the place we got to get to. But it's very difficult to get there when you first start out.
I will say this. You hit the nail. You hit the nail.
I'm a carpenter, girl. What are you talking about?
Yes. I have a success event experience that's coming up in August. And one of the people who was interested in attending the retreat said, can you send me something that tells me what the experience is? Absolutely. I sent her something. The first part of what I sent her had the cost. That was the first thing, straight, clear, the cost. The thing that followed the cost was what's included. What do you get? What do you receive? What is the value for the cost? And it is the way the cost is all broken down, the value you receive is also all broken down. So when you're talking about the cost versus what you receive, what you charge versus what you get, are you unsure of what they're going to get? No. Why? Because you have experience, you have education, you have reference points, you have testimonials, you have people that have real results. You know what they're going to get. So why would you be unsure of what to charge them?
I think the challenge is, because you remember the price come first, and then on the sub underneath the price, those things have to be worth more than the price. Because when they look at exchange, right, they're like, oh, $1,000, but let me see what I'm getting. Oh, I'm getting the thing on the list is it's worth more than $1,000. That's what most people are looking for. And if it looks like it's less than $1,000 based on the list, they're like, ah, that's not worth it. Because the value, that the thing is like the price and the value gotta be at least, 3-4 times more. When I'm getting the value, gotta be more 3-4 times the price because I'm willing to make the exchange now. Because oh yeah, I'm getting way more than I'm paying for, and that's what most people want. They want way more than they're paying for.
Yes.
And that's a difficult thing for a person to see when they're like, oh, am I giving that result or not? They're not sure because they haven't been charging because the habits of charging is not there for the person when they're putting on their price.
Yes, but if you're able to help somebody transform their health or their wealth, so their money, maybe with your service or with a product, is that not worth charging for? Is that not worth saying, this is X amount of dollars? Would you like to pay
Card or cash?
card, not only card or cash, but nowadays in one payment or a payment plan? I have something for everyone. I have something for everyone.
No, I think this is an important conversation to have because I wrestled with this early on. I'm telling you, like, it's been a journey, my friend. I retired from the military. I said, actually, we're gonna do entrepreneur stuff, man. I want to take on that area. My friend, you know this. It's a whole different journey. It's a whole different mindset. It's a whole different path. And I didn't realize how many things I had to unlock, overcome to switch my mindset around from just giving away everything that I do. Because I'm a patriot, and I wasn't even born in this country, but I'm a patriot. I like to serve people. I like to help people out, and it just gave me a lot of joy just to do it. Just do it every day. You wake up every day, right? Because I'm chilling right now. I'm retired from the military. I can chill, but I just like helping people. But then I realized like some people value this thing more when they pay for it than when they get it. I'm like, okay, guess what now? I'm making sure that my thing comes with the price first. And the list of things the subcategories comes after, but it's something I had to switch on just now. You helped me with this a bit too, because I'm telling you, I had network marketing is another really good practicing community to work on that skill set. People don't understand that's like one of the best school I've came across is those organizations that are doing network marketing, direct sales, so forth and so on. Because if you don't understand sales and marketing and promotion and branding, all that stuff, you're missing the game, my friend, because a lot of people don't do this. Then there was never the cashier on the job. They just work. The cashier is a whole different role. I collect the check is a whole different role. You gotta learn that role in business. And I didn't understand that till I started this thing. And I'm glad I'm in here because it's exciting. What are your thoughts?
I think that when we talk about the offer, the close, the sale, when you train with me, for example, one of the workshops that I offer is overcoming objections. There's a psychological way to overcome objections before somebody even asks them. And that's actually one of the workshops that I offer to entrepreneurs. How do you respond when somebody says that's too expensive? Not a problem. That's too expensive. I'm going to ask you a question. Do you want results, real results, or do you want a discount? And no guarantees. A discount price, not from me, but from someone else who's willing to charge the discounted price for you as a client. Because I know the value I bring to the table. I know the results that people have after they work with me. I've had people that have had one coaching session with me. Their business has been transformed. One coaching session.
Because all it takes is one unlock. This is the thing, because it says sell them what they want, but give them what they need.
Yes.
Sell the tangible, give them the mindset, because they need the mindset. Oftentimes people don't realize that the thing that always going to get transformed is your mindset first. Until that happens, it doesn't matter what you do, it's not going to make any difference. You just like for this, I would listen to a friend just talk all the time, and I would listen to this person talk. And this is a mindset piece. And they don't have confidence in themselves. They just don't believe when somebody says, you're doing really great. And I realized that it doesn't matter what you say to this person. If the person don't believe, it doesn't matter. Like if I say, hey, Jess, you're doing a really awesome job. If you don't believe you're doing an awesome job, it doesn't matter if I say it or not. So I realized this is a thing called belief. And it really matters when you say, if I don't believe when somebody says, you did really awesome today, but I don't believe I did, it doesn't matter what they say. And it comes back to, it doesn't matter what that person here, if they don't believe it, you can tell them all day, they just don't believe it. And there's no change happening because the mind hasn't changed. And I realized that, my friend.
Mindset is going to shape every aspect of who you are and your business. Because what you tell yourself is what you believe and what you become. So if you are constantly telling yourself, my digestive enzyme is too expensive, no one's going to want to buy it, guess what? That is the energy you are putting out into the universe, and it is going to reward you with that message because that's what you keep putting out there. But if you put out into the universe, into your head, into your heart, these digestive enzymes are the best enzymes on the marketplace. They have transformed my digestive health and can do the same for thousands of other people who are lining up to buy these digestive enzymes from me. Guess what will start to happen? The people are going to start to line up. Why? Because you told yourself that. So much so because of the results that you've had and the people that you know who use those enzymes have had, then you started going out and sharing those results. You started going out and sharing those testimonials, those stories, letting the world know that these digestive enzymes have transformed your digestive health. These digestive enzymes have transformed my friend Asher's health. And because you keep talking about it and you keep saying how transformative these digestive enzymes are, people are going to start to ask you for them. And the way you sing from the rooftops about something that you love, whether it's a product, you need to do the same thing about your service.
About your price.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Because why? Then the people are going to line up.
I'm gonna add some more belief deposit here because when you coach somebody, you're like, hey, charge this price. And the thing that happens is they gotta believe that their price is right. Because if you say charge $1,000, they're like, I don't believe that. Then guess what happened? It doesn't matter because they don't believe that they have the value of $1,000 or they're giving their service worth $1,000. And that's the biggest challenge, believing that number yourself, because oftentimes we don't believe the number. And that's why we give it away for free.
I have a couple of questions when people start to question what I'm suggesting they charge. One is, have you ever paid that amount of money to someone else?
That is the thing.
Right? Have you ever paid anyone that amount of money? People fear no because it feels personal. It feels like they are rejecting me. And so when you reframe the thought process, a no is information. It's not a reflection of your worth. Giving people options. When somebody says no, asking with confidence, not arrogance, and humility to understand, I'm looking to constantly grow, to be better, do better. Out of curiosity, why did you say no? Is it the price? Is it the time frame? Is it that it's live only? Is it that it's not available in Spanish or Chinese or French? What is it that you said no to so that I can use as a measure of reflection and figure out maybe you're not the right customer for me, and that's okay. But I don't know unless I ask.
I'm ahead here because you said something that is the unlock for people that's listening right now. Is have you ever paid for that much in price? I remember when I first I saw, I'm gonna talk about I've paid the price, and I realized it switched my mindset when I want to charge the same price. Because when I went to my coaching program, I paid, I think it was like 11K. I was trying to get the military to pay for it, but they wouldn't accept like TA stuff for the veteran stuff, whatever. But then I remember my coach Joe Weldon. I think at the time his program was almost 10Ks. So I paid for his coaching service, right? For call it 10K. It was right there on the same number. But it was at the time his service was a lifetime like coaching service. It was like you pay the one person, you have him for a lifetime. It was crazy. It was a crazy deal. I was like, man, I need to think about if I can figure out a way to pull that off too. But I realized because I paid that much in service, in coaching service, I can charge because I didn't feel guilty. I didn't feel like, oh, this. I like somebody charged me this price. I can charge somebody's, and I'm offering some value in different ways. But your question was key. Have they paid that in price? Because if you all you do was getting stuff for free, I want free stuff from other people, you were not gonna charge nobody. Why? Because you have that guilt. Because you haven't paid the price either. So first you gotta pay for somebody else's coaching, before you can charge for your own coaching. And the price you pay for somebody else's coaching, it might equate to the price you charge for your coaching because you have to pay.
Because you put in the work. I jokingly said, "Oh, I did," when you said that I unlocked the answers for people. Yes, that's what people pay me for. That's what people pay you for. That's the value we bring to the table. Those are the keys that open the doors to new, different, and more opportunities. That's what people get when they work with us. And they can only work with us if they pay to work with us. It doesn't mean that, okay, I shared that one session with somebody and their whole business changed. Does that happen to everyone? No.
Because you gotta believe it. You
Yeah.
gotta believe it.
I'm also going to say that I guarantee it may not happen in the first session, but by the time we get to the last session, not only will you have received one key to unlock the door for you, you probably have multiple keys on that ring that have opened new ideas, new ways of thinking, new and different and more as a result of having worked with me.
So here's the other piece, Jess. Have you ever complimented somebody and says, "Hey man, you're very beautiful. Oh, I love your smile," or "You're very smart," but they don't believe you?
Oh, yes, all the time.
So the your goal right now as a coach is to figure out how do I get them to see themselves as beautiful, as smart, and valuable. Because most of their internal like talk is always telling that they're not beautiful, they're not smart, they're stupid. And that's the problem they have. So you can tell them that you're worth $10,000. They don't believe you because something or somebody been telling that they don't worth nothing. And I see that a lot. So the unlock piece come back to how do you help them believe in the thing that you notice about them that they don't notice themselves. And that is a challenge. And sometimes it takes one word or one sentence or something and it hits them and like, I get it. And their life change. But oftentimes we don't know how long that's going to take until we start working with that person.
Correct. Partly because when we talk about mindset and we talk about you believe what you tell yourself, what other people tell you, you start to believe. And so if somebody's constantly telling you're great, you have the ability to be able to not only provide clarity, direction, and answers to your clients, but you have the ability to do it authentically, effortlessly. But if they don't believe that about themselves, and you are trying to convince them, at what point what comes natural is now becoming salesy. The authenticity of what you do, when you do it, and how you do it. And I'm going to use myself for example. I speak off the cuff. Don't ask me to repeat what I said most of the times because I can't. Why? Because it came authentic. It came from the heart. It came from my experience. It came from the two-way conversation and value add that I'm having with someone. It's a way for me to be able to help people transform whatever it is that they're looking to get to next. And so because of that, I can't necessarily repeat word for word or verbatim what I just said. I can give you the sentiment. Is that a great quality to have? Yes, because the authenticity is there. People feel it coming from my heart. They can almost see the passion coming out of me. But from a business perspective, it'll never sound salesy because I could never repeat the same thing exactly the same way twice. But
That's
if
how
I
you
could,
record yourself.
yeah, unless I record myself, yes. But if I could teach somebody how to take that authenticity, that transparency, that energy, and that passion and sell themselves to the world without being salesy and showing them that they're possible, because not only did I do it, but hundreds of other people have done it as a result of working with me. Do you think they're going to be willing and wanting to pay the price of what my offer is?
And another thing that's to add to what you're saying, I'm going to steal man your idea a little bit. if you understand the term steel man, but it's that you talked about when you work with somebody individually, and sometimes it takes a while for them to believe, but oftentimes that's why the group and the community thing works, because a lot of times people need other people around to validate and verify that knowledge, what you've been telling them to. And when you're like, oh, she's not the only one that's saying it, she's not the only one that's feeling it. That's why the community coaching works so well, because oftentimes the mob influence the mob, by the way. That's why I talk about the 5 people you're around, influences, so forth and so on, because it's so true. Mm-hmm. It's so true. So one-on-one is great. I get you to see, but then in the community, what happened is now you have people around you that are like, hey, they're saying the same thing too. I should believe it even more. Because oftentimes the biggest challenge is the belief piece. And it takes just more than one person to like unlock that belief. You need a community, you need a community, you need a community. Yep. So let's tie back to, we started off talking about the bad cashier, and that was the triggering point. I told you I wrote this article up and I was thinking about it because I see it happening where when I first started, because I'm doing a lot of reflecting as I go through my journey of being an entrepreneur. I'm going through the process, like some of the things I used to struggle with, and that was one of them. Man, how do I unlock this? How do I get past this? I got to talk to other people that are charging. And how do you set your mind in a place where you can charge a price that you know you're worth? And oftentimes that takes more than one people because you haven't been practicing it. So you speak to somebody that's been practicing it longer, and they're like, hey, this is what I did to continue doing it. And you got to do the same thing. And you got to believe it. Because if you don't, you won't do it.
So we have to wrap up here, Asher. And I am going to give my words of wisdom.
Let me hear it, just let me hear it. Let us hear it.
This conversation today. The number one thing, and those of you who are regulars listening to us, you're going to chuckle, maybe out loud or in your head, but get out of your head and into your heart. Have more faith than fear. People who are paralyzed by fear will get nowhere fast. You only learn if you go and do. When people reject your offer, they are not rejecting you. You need to practice, and practice some more. Have the mindset of knowing that you are worth being paid for your service. Be a cashier who's fully present, who's not afraid to ask cash or card, one payment or payment plan, 1 box, 2 boxes, or 3 boxes today. Don't discount your worth to make someone else feel better about themselves. Have the courage and know that there are people out there waiting to line up and pay you your worth.
Are you a bad cashier? Try not to be. But you know what? My biggest takeaway too is when we was talking, I started thinking more deep about the want and the need piece. And I realized that we want clients that want your service, not clients that need your service. And if you can find that distinction and start thinking about it differently, you can realize when you start talking to them, you can, I'll say this before, you can tell the people that are looking for things for free when they show up to your little community thing. Like you host an event, you see them show up, they're listening. Those are freeloaders. They come in here because they need some stuff. And the people that want it, you can tell. They're like, hey, Asher, I need to talk to you. I want to do this thing with you. And you realize these people, they're the wanting client, not the needing client. So I would say get rid of the needing client and focus on the wanting client, because those are the ones that's going to help you keep your price intact, stay strict to your price. With that, my friend, Jess, it was good to see you again and chat with you. As always, it's a good place to kind of exchange energy and entertain and educate people as we do it. Any last word?
You're not here to hope somebody pays you. You're here to ask, to serve, to sell, to collect. The register is yours. Show up and use it, and don't feel guilty.
And with that, make it an utterly fantastic day.